Can you see that and hear me?
Yep, you
Oh, yeah.
can. Yep, take it away.
Kia ora koutou whānau, mihi ana kia koutou katoa, ko ai au, ko Jamie Werner toku ingoa, no tūranga waiwai o Ahipara, no Te Aki o Te Hapuri, o Te Kaimahi o Te Papa Atawhai. So my name's Jamie Werner, I hail out of the far north, out of a small settlement called Ahipara, and I work for Te Papa Atawhai and the community team. 4 weeks ago, we embarked on a journey. We took 30 whānau hapu iwi, tamariki, down to Puke and Whirinaki. And this is just a quick little presentation I put together this morning. The three purposes that we tried to do was to live the change, showcase large-scale landscape predator control and innovations and opportunities created through having a healthy tile. Living the change, that's where DOC becomes the ringawera and the connectors to allow whānau hapu iwi and communities to connect in a meaningful way. It's under our new strategy within Te Papa Atawhai around ensuring Papa Tūnuku thrives. It's elevating our partners to becoming, for the department to be a better and more honourable treaty partner. Every day we'd sort of go out, we'd wānanga every evening, we'd kōrero through what we'd learned, what through people's journeys were. We were hosted down in Puke by Te Hau Kaingo Puke Ngāti Rereahu, and they showed us around their rohe, and they said, you know, we've spent a whole day with you guys. You tell us about what you are doing, what makes you who you are, and these are just a couple of the snippets that we sort of had, and we just got to kōrero and talk. We had 30 whānau hapu iwi from Te Tai Tokerau across 7 iwi. We had Pangaru School, we had our community groups down there. There was 30 in total, and it was taken over 5 days. My DOC team were absolutely amazing. Cooked, cleaned, drove, and really allowed our iwi to engage and provide a platform to be able to engage in a really purposeful and meaningful way. The second purpose of it was allowing large-scale predator control. I speak quite openly and freely around 1080, so I'm happy to kōrero, field any questions. But Puke, they're undertaking a 1080 operation in August. 35,000 hectares. The iwi want to do 70,000 hectares, but we couldn't quite afford it this year. Ground-based pest control operations for Whirinaki, they were just finishing off a 2,000 ground-based toxin operation as we were there. Heap of our kaimahi went in the bush and helped them pull our toxin. And trapping methods, just trapping courses and stuff. The way I described this, and when I got home to reflect, it was actually what we were trying to do. I think what I was trying to do was take our iwi from up here and fast forward them 40 years into the future. I sort of realized that conservation actually allows you the ability to time travel. So to go back 200 years, you go step on the likes of Hauturu or down onto Kapiti Island, or if you want present day forest that Dino just described around that collapse, we've got pretty good examples of no work being done in forests really on that brink of disaster, which is like Herekino and that, and Wara Wara is probably 10 years into the future where we've managed to conduct 2 1080 operations over the last 10 years, and you can actually see it. We've still got Kukupō in there, Titu Painamu are hanging in there. So all I really want to do is take our iwi, our whānau, our community groups 30 to 40 years in the future and say, hey, through collective management, making brave decisions and actually working together, this is what we can aspire to and have as aspiring to life past being trappers. And this was just a couple of those photos that we captured. So my team, top right there's Bernie, he's jumped to NRC, but he was doing 5-minute bird counts, him and Darius, every morning with our kaimahi and our tamariki. One of our tamariki, we slept up in Wara with them last year doing 5-minute bird counts, and we're sort of hearing 1 bird, 2 birds here. And then the 11-year-old said to me down in Puke, goes, Jamie, what's the point in doing this? There's too many birds. And I was just like, and that's the honest reflection of an 11-year-old comparing Wara to what we experienced down in Whirinaki and Puke. The local DOC boys ran trapping networks, trapping workshops. Karito was our Whirinaki treaty ranger who spoke to us around the transformation of Minganui, the nursery of Whirinaki, and just the all the old mining equipment there that's been left and discovered in the bush. And innovations and opportunities. So I really wanted to do a lot of the things when I'm consulting, talking to whānau and iwi is around trapping, fur trade, stuff like that being that viable business option. I really wanted to stimulate their thinking of what opportunities persist when you actually do have a healthy tile. And that was through ecotourism. The Timber Trail was a 4-day mountain bike ride from Puke, it's 86 kilometers, something like that, over 4 nights. The local iwi and hapu were saying we don't have enough accommodation, we don't have enough people to provide accommodation for the amount of people that influx into a place that's quite literally in the middle of nowhere. The place that we stayed at, Whirinaki or at Galatea, they're a Māori Innovations. They won a Māori Innovations Award around taking ecotourism up into the Ngāhere to appreciate the flocks of kaka and kakariki dancing around and everything you could think of. Minganui, and connecting people to nature is, ultimately what it was about. Minganui is the nursery, and that's it here. Minganui in 86 was completely shut down. They were logging natives, so I think pretty much went from overnight 100% unemployment. In 2016, Ngāti Whare put $1.2 million of their own money to set up this nursery, and they were employing 4 people originally. As of, I think, last week, they were up to 30 staff, producing 1 million native trees, looking to expand that to 1.2 million trees in the next year. And at settlement, they were worth about $12 million, and today they're worth over $100 million. They employ 30 locals from that town that had 100% unemployment. They run a social enterprise, so they could go buy a machine that could plant 15,000 trees and do exactly what those people do, but that's not going to transform their towns, and that's not going to help their people, and it's fully iwi run. So yeah, that was just one of the amazing examples. I've got a couple of videos just to showcase some of that. And this is just that 5-minute bird count sort of
We've got no sound there, Jamie.
Oh, that sucks. All good.
I'm sure it's very loud.
Yeah. And oh, this doesn't require much sound, but this is just sort of that scale of what the nursery was. I hope that's working.
Yeah, we can see your videos.
Yeah, so I hope that worked. And Minganui is probably the distance from Whangarei to Te Hapua. Like, it's quite literally in the middle of nowhere, and they've managed to create an enterprise that's just actually groundbreaking in regards to New Zealand's scale. And I think their main competitor is Cody Park at, just south of Kaiwaka there. And this is our final trip. Oh, this is our final whānau photo that we had. Yeah, like I mentioned, Te Haukainga Puri o Ngāti Reriahu and Ngāti Whare hosted us down there. The feedback from the people that went on the trip was absolutely amazing. We had young rangatahi, 18, 19 years old, starting off in their conservation journey, just wanting to jump off their seat and share their story with us and tell them how their life had been affected. And we had kaimahi jumping up saying, man, we're going to go talk to our whānau. We want this 1080 to come up to our ngāhere. It needs to happen and we can see it. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And we are going to look at trying to run another one in the near future, but try and expand that across all of Tai Tokerau and try and get some of those instrumental decision makers in the vehicle down there to be able to experience what we experienced. This was just, I pulled this off in 3 weeks, so it was what it was, and it was special to be a part of. So yeah, I think that's probably me in a nutshell. Happy to kōrero or answer any questions, or reach out to me if you want any feedback or thoughts on it. So ka pai and kia ora.